Hey YouTube, Brandon here. Today I have a video which outlines exactly how we're going to shoot and edit a short story video using the Osmo Pocket 3 and Capcut. I'm going to take you along with me on a Saturday as I go about doing my various things, but the real goal of today's video is to show you how I transfer the files onto my machine off of my Osmo, which really is the same no matter what camera you're using, but more importantly, how I organize my files, creating the folder, and of course, importing that footage into Capcut for PC or for Mac. Now, I do like using the free version, or I have the pro version, but I do like using the desktop version of Capcut because you can see more on your screen at the same time, and you can just see you have better controls over what you're doing as opposed to using it on an iPad or a smartphone. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, I did use a few tools to enhance my experience with today's shoot. First of all, I used a newer clamp arm that I used to help me get some shots over at the grocery store. Just some creative shots that I use for the Osmo Pocket 3. And of course, I got this magnetic clamp mount for my Osmo Pocket 3. Now what this does is it allows me to go ahead and put this, stick this Osmo Pocket 3 onto anything that's made out of steel or iron, which gives you tons of flexibility to get your shots because you can use your smartphone to control the angle, and you can essentially stick this anywhere no matter how far and see what the camera is seeing on your iPhone, and you can use that to help you get your creative shots. So I wanted to give you the rundown really quickly on how I use the Osmo Pocket 3. Now I want to stress that this video is for beginners, that if you have this machine and you have CapCut, then you have the ability to make some pretty dope ass videos yourself. So let me just run you through the very quick settings, or at least the functions that I use every time that I turn this camera on, and my videos look incredibly cinematic with the help of that stabilization via the gimbal head. So to turn on the device, you can either hit this power button, or what I like to do is just flip the screen. Now, once the screen is open, the device is on, and you can start recording immediately by pushing this power button. Or if you want to go into selfie mode, you can hit this joystick like a button, 1, 2, 3, and it goes into selfie mode. I'll hit it again, 1, 2, 3, to face forward again. Now, this is how I film my YouTube videos. As you can see, the screen is in landscape. If I want to film Instagram videos, which I do often, I'll simply flip the screen, hit the continue button, and it is now good to go for portrait video. So you can go ahead and push that power button to start, push power button to stop. And by the way, I actually leave this in full auto. I know you're supposed to change some certain things. The only thing that I have set on it is that I'm shooting in 24 frames per second. Sometimes it doesn't work out if I'm next to a bright window with lots of sunlight, but the vast majority, in fact, nobody has ever noticed that sometimes my footage is a little jittery on Instagram. Now, I know that YouTube is a whole nother animal, but for the purpose of social media marketing or just showing off your day, your vlogs, whatnot, it really doesn't matter. So the only things that really do matter in my book are the gimbal modes. So I'll swipe down from the top, and I'll scroll down here to the, let's do that again, to this little symbol of the gimbal. I'll hit that. And then the vast majority of the shots that I do are in tilt lock because it keeps the horizon level no matter which direction you have your hand pointed. And this is perfect for pan shots, crane shots, push in and pull out shots. Those are just the majority of the shots that I take when I'm out filming content. Now, if I want to do like a top-down view, I'll hit this follow mode, and in the follow mode, the gimbal will actually follow, right? It'll follow the movement of your hand, and I'll usually find like a good angle pointing downwards. And if I want to lock that angle, I can push and hold the joystick, and then as I move the gimbal, it's going to be locked in all directions. So that's it. That's the only way that I use this. I just do a combination of each of the shots I just described, and then I throw those into CapCut, and here we go. On to the next step. First things first, the best way The fastest, easiest way, in my opinion, to transfer files from your OP3 onto your machine is simply to plug it into your computer. You can also take out this SD card right in that little slot, but it's really hard to take out, and if you damage it, then you could lose all your footage. Another method is simply to download the Osmo DJI app, and you can transfer those files directly onto your phone. The problem with that is if that you have a lot of footage, it takes a while to transfer, and if you want to transfer that footage onto a different machine, you're essentially doing it twice. Sometimes what I do is if it's a short video, I'll go ahead and download the files onto my phone, and I just let iCloud update, and by the time I get home to edit them, they'll be waiting for me in my Photos app. But for the purpose of doing a short story and doing it as quick and as efficient as possible, I usually plug my machine directly into my machine. Now, once it's plugged in, you do have to turn it on. It'll recognize that it's plugged in, and you push the file transfer button. Now, once that happens, you'll see the file or the symbol that a USB-C or a drive is plugged in. And from here, I'll share my screen with you and take you through the next steps. You can see that up here in the top right corner, we have the Pocket 3 drive on our Mac screen. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up and kind of drag it off here to the side on my main screen. I'm also going to go ahead and open up my Capcut folder, which I keep right here on my desktop. So I'll go ahead and open that. Inside my Capcut folder, I'll create a new project folder called Short Film Saturday. So inside this folder, I'll create subfolders for each of my cameras. So the first folder obviously is going to be the DJI footage. I'm going to create another one called iPhone. And I'm going to create another one for the Sony ZV-1F, which is what I'm filming on right now. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open up this DJI footage and just set it right next to my drive, my Pocket 3 plugged directly in. So we'll go to DCIM, DJI1, and what I'm after is just the footage that I took on Saturday. From here, I'm not going to select these files called D.LRF. I'm only going to select the MP4 files, and it shows a little icon that is essentially a video of just the files that you need. So I'll just select those MP4 files. I'm going to hold Command and select only the ones from the day that I shot all of this footage on, which was the 4th. And then I just drag and drop them into this file that we created to be pulled into CapCut. So now that we have all of our footage imported and organized in a folder, I'm going to go ahead and open up CapCut on my desktop. I'm going to come right up here to where it says Create Project, hit the plus button. Now, once I've done that, I'll go to this little window at the top right, and I'll hit the Modify button. Now, on the Modify button, this is where we can change the parameters of the video. So the first thing I'll do is name it. We'll call it Short Film Saturday. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and dictate the aspect ratio to be 16:9 for YouTube. If you don't do this, then CapCut will automatically fill whatever your first video is. So in other words, if you shoot in landscape, it'll automatically choose landscape. If you shoot in portrait, it will automatically choose portrait. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the landscape button anyway. I always leave resolution as adapted. And on all my cameras, I have the frame rate set to 24 frames per second. And so I'm going to go ahead and edit in 24 frames per second. I'm going to go ahead and leave this color space at Rec 709, and I'm going to leave this little check mark there because once you start editing the video, you can't go back and recheck this. So I'll go ahead and hit the save button. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the import button, and I'm going to navigate to that folder where we uploaded all of this stuff. So I'm going to go to CapCut, Short Film Saturday, DJI footage. All right, so this is all the footage that we took. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the stuff that we need. I'm going to select the top clip, and then I'm going to hold the shift button, and I'm going to come and select the bottom clip. All right, so these are all the clips that I took throughout the day. I'm going to push the import, and now all of these short clips appear right here. So now from here, what I can do is I can select one of these clips, and it's going to automatically start playing a video. So what I do next is essentially choose the ones I want and start organizing them to fit my liking. So it looks like I actually missed a few. So I know that this video starts with this first clip. I can push play. It's going to show a little playhead right here. Now, one thing that you can do before you even start importing clips is you can shorten the clips right here in this little player window. So what I can do with this selected, I can grab these little handles right here and I can drag and just drag just to where the action starts, right? So this way it's less editing I got to do in the timeline itself. So once I have this essentially where I want it, I can either grab this and drag it, right? Or I can push this plus button. It'll automatically land right here in the timeline for me. Now, this is the timeline, this is the playhead, and the basic way that this happens is you get your clips and you just start importing them. I'll just go ahead and import another one just to show you what I mean. All right, that looks good. We'll go ahead and push the plus button. So once you have a bunch of clips or two or more clips inside the timeline, then you can start making your cuts and start editing them. So you can grab these clips and you can drag them and rearrange them on your timeline as you see fit, and they'll just automatically snap in place. That's called a magnetic timeline. And we can just let this play. We can fast forward and go backwards. We could also add B-roll. So, like for example, if I wanted this clip right here to be some B-roll for whatever was happening on the A roll, like maybe I was waking up and I had coffee on my mind, I can put this and slide it over. So Capcut is going to give priority to whatever video clip is on top. So if I drag this, you'll see that the coffee shot starts right even while I'm getting out of bed, this shot is still playing. So what I'm going to do is just run through and arrange my story in the order that it happened. I want to add some speed ramps. Now, speed ramps are a way to show a lot of action in a little amount of time. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to show you how I can add a speed ramp to this clip right here of me doing pull-ups at the gym. Now, I did 10 pull-ups because that's the most I can do, and I was trying really hard because I knew I was recording this video. So anyway, just to make myself look even cooler, what I can do is with my playhead over this track, I can go ahead and select the clip. I'm going to come up here to the right, this window on the right, excuse me. I'm going to hit the speed, and they have all these different presets that you can use for just a quick speed ramp, but I need a very specific thing. What I need is for the clip to start at normal speed, and I would like for it to speed up in the middle, just the parts where I'm doing the pull-ups, and then slow back down to normal speed so that I can then land or transfer into the next clip very seamlessly. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this custom, and you'll see that it has these handles, if you will. So these are handles, and you'll see that the timeline or the speed itself is set to ×1, which is normal speed. I can slow it. I can slow it way down, or I can speed it way up. So what I think I'm going to do is just grab this handle in the middle and bring it all the way up to 10, and you'll see that this automatically creates a curve. And what that does is it just smooths out the transition from normal to fast and then fast back to normal, or from normal to slow to fast, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So what I'm trying to accomplish is just have this, this, I think I'm just going to have the entire center of this video just be quick, and then I want for it to slow down at the end. So let's just run a quick test here. So here's the clip here. Okay, so always run your test. Let's go back and adjust that. I think we can fix this up. So I think that it needs to be slower for a little bit longer. So I'm going to grab these handles near the top and just drag them and drop them. And we can go ahead and play that again. That's pretty good. I think we can do a little better though. Let's see. Let's select the clip again. go back to speed, and I think what we'll do is bring this one down and this one down, and let's see how that looks. All right, good enough. So that's speed ramps. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some creative transitions. So the transitions I like to add in a story like this, I like to copy the movement that already exists inside of the frame. So I'm going to use my trackpad and zoom into my timeline a bit, and I'm just going to look for areas that have motion in them. Okay, I think this is a good opportunity right here. So as I'm walking past, it's going to motion in the same direction to this Planet Fitness track, or this Planet Fitness video clip. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a transition that slides to the left, because I think that it will enhance the movement of me walking to the left and this track also moving to the left. So I'm going to put my playhead right in between those two tracks. I'm going to come up here in the top left corner to transitions, and I'm just going to look for the one that says left right here. So if you click that, it's going to show you a preview, right? So I like the way that preview looks, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus button, and we're going to go ahead and play it back. But it's a little quick, so I think I'm going to go ahead and spread that out as far as it'll go. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so next I noticed when I was doing these lateral pull downs that this bar kind of takes up the whole frame. And so as it comes down, I think I'm going to add a transition that pulls the whole screen down into the next clip. So I'm going to put my playhead right there, and I'm going to look for the one that slides down. So let's see here. Oh yeah, right here. Oh, I think that looks great. So check this out. I can drag and drop. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And so what this is doing is, as I'm pulling this bar down on the second rep, at the same time, the transition follows the movement of that bar, and it's like I'm pulling myself into the next clip. So that's perfect. Let's watch that again. Oh yeah, love it. So I went through and I edited the audio the best that I could. I'm not going to spend a million hours on it because this is just a short form video. It's not really anything serious. I'm just showing you guys how I do, and I'm keeping a lot of the original audio in there because I feel like it brings a lot of depth to what's happening in the scenes. Now, there are some scenes where the audio was just horrible, like these two clips right here. I just deleted the audio altogether. Now, from here, what I'm going to do is add sound effects. So I like to add a whoosh sound every time there's a transition, like from this clip to this clip. That transition is just emphasized with the sound of a whoosh. And so the way that I do that is I get my playhead and I put it to the beginning of this clip. I'm going to come up here to the top left corner. I'm going to hit the audio button. I'm going to select sound effects, and I'm going to type in the search bar WHOSH. Okay, I like this one. So we're going to go ahead and push the plus button, and it's going to go ahead and automatically drop that whoosh sound right here where my playhead is. And so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to grab this and kind of put it just so that it matches the timeline of the transition itself. So let's go ahead and play that back. Oh yeah, that was perfect. Maybe I'll bring it down just a touch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select out of there. I'm going to pinch with my fingers on the trackpad and make this timeline a little bit smaller. And so I'm going to go ahead and select this whoosh sound. I'm going to hold the option button and I'm going to grab it. And what that's going to do is going to create a copy of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop that copy at all my transitions. All right, so now my favorite part is trying to find some background music just to add a mood to the overall to the overall video. So over here, I'm going to come up to music, and I'm just going to go ahead and start playing. Okay, I think I like this one. We'll push the plus button. Oh, it was going to drop it right there where the playhead started at. I'm just going to bring it all the way to the beginning. I think I'm actually going to start the music after I do my yawn so that the music starts right when the video starts. So you'll see that it has a waveform on the music layer or the audio layer down below. And again, all those yellow and orange little dots right there on the waveform show peaking. So I'm just going to grab this and drag it down so that it is no longer peaking. And I'm going to go ahead and just play it and just see how it feels. Well, I think I like it. So now I'm going to scroll all the way to the end, and I'm going to go ahead and move my playhead to the end of our video clip. It's going to magnetize right on the end. So now I'm going to select this music track. I'm going to hit Command B. I'm going to cut this music track right there, and I'm going to delete that second half so that the music track follows the timeline exactly how I want it to. And now from here, I think the last thing I'm going to do is add some text. So the way that we do that is we come up here to the upper left-hand corner. We can hit text, and we're going to go to text template. And I'm just going to find one that looks cool and kind of follows the vibe that I'm going for. I think I like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. I'm going to hit the plus button, and it's going to drop that text with the animation built in right here in the timeline. So you can see that the refrigerator closes and it starts to turn black, and then the text comes in. So what I think I want to do is I actually want to move this over. I want to move this over just a little bit so that the text flies in right when it's being closed. Oh, a little too soon. I can just grab it and drag it over. Yep, that seems about perfect. So let's check that out. Okay, that's it. I'm done editing this video. It's not a masterpiece that you're going to find in Hollywood, but this is how I edit the vast majority of my videos. This video was just a quick tutorial on how to put together a quick edit here in Capcut. And by the way, this can be done on a cell phone, can be done on an iPad. Capcut is free. I do have the pro version because I do enjoy doing this and I like to get the most out of my tools. As I mentioned before, technology are tools, and I prefer having the best tools for the job. Now, one thing that makes CapCut special to me is that it is super easy to use. So I've used LumaFusion on my iPad, I've used Final Cut Pro on a Mac, and CapCut just has so many things built in, which is perfect for new video editors. Now, I'll probably never work for a video editing studio, but I think I know enough here to go ahead and tell the story and portray the vibe that I'm trying to get across. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the final product. If this video brought you any value, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. All done, sucker fish.